Hi, so we are more than halfway through the first month of the new year. It's already, let's see, the 18th of January. And most people have made New Year's resolutions. We like to look at, when we get to the end of the year, we like to look at our year, kind of do a review, see how we lived our life and what changes we like to make for the next year. And so that usually comes into where New Year's resolutions come into play, where we decide what we want to change about ourselves or what we want to improve or do more or do less of. Really good ideas because it's talking about change and improvement. Unfortunately, New Year's resolutions are hard to keep. The second Friday in January is it's called Quitter's Day because a lot of people have already quit on themselves. They've already quit on their New Year's resolution by the second Friday in January. And about most of them, really most of them, will go ahead and quit 2 to 3 months into the year. So by March, everybody's kind of like walked away from whatever their commitment was for themselves. So we're going to talk about New Year's resolutions, and we're going to talk about the desire to change and improve, and I want to give you 9 methods or 9 ways that you can keep your commitment to yourself for change and for improvement. Um, First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Bridgetta Newman, and welcome to my channel, The Vegan Handbook, where we will discuss all things vegan. Okay, so New Year's resolutions. The most common ones are lose weight, exercise more, eat healthier, and make more money or save more money. Those two, really all of them, they're all good resolutions and they can all be beneficial. Um, so we're going to focus on eat healthy, to eat a healthier diet. People seem to have a concept of what that is. They know when they're eating something that they probably shouldn't eat, and they know that they should probably eat more fruits and vegetables. People say that. But they don't really keep that commitment. And why is that? So for me, I probably made commitments over my life. I didn't make a New Year's resolution this year, but I'm sure I've made New Year's resolutions over the years, and probably at some point it was to eat healthier. But I really thought that I had a pretty healthy diet until when I became a vegan. I became a vegan in 2019, and everything changed for me. I learned about food, our food supply. I learned so much, and I was so committed that it was not difficult for me to make that change. Um, and once I became vegan, my health changed almost overnight. Um, my autoimmune disorder, it reversed. The migraines that I used to have, they went away. The stomach problems that I had been plagued with for decades, off and on, it went away. And I lost 30 pounds. I wasn't trying to lose weight. I was glad I lost it, but I lost 30 pounds and I've never gained it back. And so these changes happened right away just from being a vegan. And so I recommend that people take a look at their eating and look at their food and understand the relationship between your food and your health. And I like to highlight that in the Black community, we do have some special needs in terms of awareness. We have a need to be more aware of food, what we eat, and how it affects our body. I work with Black women over ages 50 and over who are interested in improving their health by adapting a vegan, whole food, plant-based diet or lifestyle. It's really a lifestyle. And so, one of the things that we like to do is just really differentiate between what is vegan and what is a whole food plant-based lifestyle. So vegan is really determined by it was a term that was made up, and it's really about taking care of animals, making sure that the animals don't die, and that's awesome. That's great. But my focus was on myself and my health. And so when I chose to give up all animal products, sure, that saved the animals, and then it also had a really good effect or impact on the environment. So, that's kind of a 3 for 1. But yes, but my whole focus was to improve my health. Just okay. So how I even came to be interested in a vegan lifestyle it was really random. After dinner, one evening, just a regular day, had dinner, decided I wanted to watch something on television. I turned on Netflix, like, oh, okay, let me see what I'm going to watch. I ended up, for whatever reason, it pulled up this documentary called Game Changers. And I had never heard of it, but it did say that elite athletes were changing their diet to heal from injury and to improve, their whatever their sport was, they were getting better. And it's like, okay, well, here I am, a middle-aged woman who, goes to the gym 3 times a week. If it can help an elite athlete win an Olympic medal, I want to hear about it. You can help me with my yoga class, help me on in my cycle class. So I watched that video, and it was like, wow, okay, I did not know. They were talking about your food, and it was really promoting a whole food plant-based lifestyle. I was like, oh wow, that's something, but I still had questions. And so, as Netflix will do, it had More Like This. And so it came up, the next movie or documentary that came up was under the category of more like the one you just watched. And it was called What the Health. And so I watched that documentary, and it kind of clicked for me after I watched that documentary. It went into more about our food and our food supply. And it's like, okay, I get it. I see why I'm having so many problems. I thought I was eating a healthy lifestyle, but I wasn't getting those types of results. I'm walking around with medicine for migraines. I'm walking around with nasal spray and allergy medicine. And, I'm keeping medicine for my stomach. And, so it's like, well, I'm not really getting the results that I wanted, but that made me open. Oh, my table is shaking. My desk is shaking. I bumped it. Sorry about that. So that made me open to seeing if there was some way that I could get out of this this kind of distress, this off and on distress. And so that meant giving up animal products. I was like, I will give that a try. Absolutely, I'll give it a try. Anything to feel better. So I was at a point where I was totally motivated for change. I didn't want to suffer. I didn't want to feel bad. I was really sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. So yes, it didn't cost me any more money to try it. There was nothing I had to purchase. It was just like, okay, do the things that you're supposed to do. You're supposed to eat fruits and vegetables. That processed foods are bad for you. That high sodium and all these different things, they don't make you feel good. So it's not as difficult to walk away from something that, although it did taste good, it didn't make me feel good. And so then I became interested in food that did taste good, that would make me feel good. And so that's how I became a vegan. It was really overnight. Once I watched those two documentaries, when I got up from the sofa, I was at that point a vegan, and I have not looked back. And so, like I said, I've gotten all these um, rewards, I would say, for treating my body uh, in a responsible and healthy way. And so, commitment and motivation was one of the things that I had going. But for people who are maybe not, everybody doesn't think like me. Not everybody is suffering or feels like, they're willing to they need to make that change right away. Some people are healthy and they don't eat well, but they're hoping that they won't ever have to deal with the results of those choices. And that might be, and I hope the same thing for them. But for most of us, there's a huge problem in the Black community with diabetes. There's a big problem in the Black community with hypertension. We have all kinds of, I noticed there are, what do you call those places? Dialysis clinics everywhere. The grocery store may close in our community, but a dialysis business will stay open. It will open and continue to remain open. And so I really think that we have to be responsible for taking the lead for our health. We have to look at what we're doing, the choices we're making, and see what changes we can make to get a better outcome. Because let's face it, the medical community, they don't have all the answers. And if they had all the answers, it's still up to us to be motivated to use those answers, okay? So let's talk about 9 methods to keep your commitment to yourself. Number 1, make a realistic plan. So you can break a big goal, like becoming a vegan. Like I said, I did it overnight, but that's not the only way. That's not the only way to do that. You can make a plan and decide, you know what? Because you know what your lifestyle is. Like at the time that I did it, I was traveling. I traveled for a living, so I was traveling all the time. And so I was like, okay, I made a plan where I would cook some food, take it with me, and then I thought about, I was going to places where I knew the hotel. I was familiar with the menu, so I made a plan of what foods I could eat there. But that was my lifestyle at that time. You know your lifestyle. You know if you are, what your lifestyle is and how you might have to break it up into smaller steps to reach a bigger goal. Let's say, for instance, you are responsible for cooking for other people, and young people and older people, they're not really as open to change. Everybody knows what's healthy, but they don't always want to go for it. And so you may have to keep yourself encouraged and not let other people that are near you or live with you or, share meals with you discourage you. So that might have to be a smaller goal, like, okay, well, I'm going to institute Meatless Monday. And so you make it a point to introduce that to the people that you're preparing meals with or for, so that they will be more palatable to that. So that would be one small step. Okay. Number 2, having an accountability partner. If you tell somebody your plan you have or your goals and how you plan to achieve them, you have a better chance of achieving them. So an accountability partner, you can decide who that would be. If that would be somebody that you have a casual relationship with, or if that's somebody in your household, for instance, you know, maybe telling your children, I've decided that I'm going to do this for myself, and this is what I'm going to do. And children, you know, you think they don't listen, but they listen and they will hold you accountable. So, you know, you decide who that will be. If that would be somebody in your household, somebody you work with, somebody who, you know, who doesn't even live in town, just a good friend, maybe a good friend who lives somewhere else, and you tell them, but it's somebody that you can be accountable to. Like, I don't want to tell this person that I did not do it. And if I tell that person that I did not do it, or I let myself down, they're not going to let me off the hook. They're going to encourage me. So those are the kind of some of the traits you want for your accountability partner. Number 3, keep it simple. So if you can identify 1 or 2 obtainable goals. Another easy goal might be, and I'm saying it's easy, but I don't know, because it depends on, you know, your lifestyle. But maybe you drink soft drinks, and, you know, all the ingredients that are in soft drinks are not only not good for you, they're actually bad for you. So you may want to do look at the ingredients on the soft drink or whatever it is. Look at it and recognize what it is, and decide to substitute it. Maybe I will have tea. I will have iced tea, a flavored iced tea, instead of this soft drink. You know, that's a small obtainable goal. You may be cognizant of how much water am I drinking, and make sure that you're drinking an ample amount of water. And the statistics vary on that. I've read, you know, anywhere from 8 to 10 ounce glasses per day. That's a good place to start. That's definitely a good place to start if you're not already there. Okay. Number 4, act like somebody who has already obtained the goal. And I think that's important, to not say, oh, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to be a vegan. Oh, I'm thinking about being a vegan. It's like you present yourself as if you already have accomplished that. So for instance, I am vegan. You go out with your friends to eat. It's like, oh, I'm eating a vegan. I'm eating as a vegan. And so your commitment is to yourself and to your health and your welfare. You're not telling everybody else they have to do it, but you're keeping your commitment to yourself. And so let's say you go out and they want pizza. It's like, okay, well, you guys, I'm vegan and I'm looking at the menu, and the only thing I see I can eat there is pizza. And you know, so now you've presented yourself to this restaurant as a vegan, not like, oh, I'm trying, oh, I'm going, I'm thinking about it. It's like, no, I am. And so we're going to have to find something for me that will be suitable for me to eat. You can require that from the people around you to support you in that way. I was very fortunate. My friends and my coworkers, they were very supportive of me. Now, I really think they saw how I was suffering, how I would get sick. And, you know, we might all go out to eat, and then, you know, later on I would be sick. And, you know, and it wasn't every time, it was just so random. It was so random. But I think because they saw how I was I was suffering. And so they were very supportive of me when I decided to make that change for myself. So now when we get together, they tell me, oh, yeah, I've already looked at the menu and they've got vegan choices. I mean, you know, amazing. I got great friends and great support. So, you know, you can have that too. You can have that as well. Number 5, add something before you take something away. So, and that can be pretty easy. The idea of changing everything that you eat in a world that does not support that. So for instance, if going out to eat, when I drive down the street, I pass all kinds of restaurants, but I'm not going to stop in pretty much any of them because their food is either fast food or it's going to be animal based. Most everything has some animal product. If it doesn't have it, if it's not the animal itself, it's going to be cheese, it's going to be eggs, there's going to be some kind of dairy in it. So it's a little bit more challenging. So you can add something like make sure that I am having vegetables, fresh vegetables. Maybe I add a salad with the dressing that I like. Maybe I make sure I add, whatever my favorite. Most people have a favorite vegetable. It might be, collard greens. It could be, it could be green beans. It could be any of those kinds of things. But make sure you add an extra serving of that because you want to have more of the fresh of the produce and the vegetables. Make sure you add vegetables and produce, fruit. Make sure you add fruit into your life as well. And they're great for snacks. So an apple, a pear, an orange, great for snacks instead of a donut. So you can definitely do something like that to offset it. Number 6. Don't wait until an arbitrary date like New Year's. So for instance, for me, when I decided to change my lifestyle, it was October, if I remember correctly. It was an October day. I didn't wait until after, it's no need of me waiting until the New Year's. I wanted that change. I wanted the change. I wanted the results that change could bring about, and I didn't want to wait for it. So I changed that day. So that night it was like, okay, that's it. Everything else changes from this point forward because I was really looking forward to having that result. And there's no, good things can't, they don't have to wait. You don't have to wait until January. New Year's is a good time because people are looking at their year in review, but at whatever point you decide you need to make a change and you know what that change is, that's the time to step out. Okay? Number 7, adopt a growth mindset. So I'm using myself as an example for all of these, but I did, once I decided to become vegan, my mindset shifted. And so I had been following, of course, the standard American diet. They call it SAD. But I was following the standard American diet. And so when I became a vegan, it was still my point of reference. So I still was like, okay, let me do whatever I felt like I wanted. Oh, let me do like a mock meatloaf. And I can do mashed potatoes and, I could have my favorite meals, but I was still trying to simulate that standard American diet. And then I still had a lot of snacks. I felt real snacky, like I wanted to eat chips and carbs. Carbs were my thing. That's what it was. I was always going, for some carbs. And so that would have been a lot in my mind to just think I have to give up everything all at once. I didn't even know I needed to give up the carbs. That came later. But as I got better and really the vegan lifestyle became second nature to me, the more, because I continued to read, I continued to learn, and I continued to, put myself in environments where people were eating whole food and plant-based. And so then I came to see that I was also doing a lot eating a lot of carbs, a lot of snacking, when I could really substitute that with something healthy instead of something harmful. That was a tough one for me. But once I did that, um, yeah, felt even better. So that was pretty cool. But I had to grow to get to that point. I didn't start out there. And so um, that's what I mean by adaptive growth mindset. You can take steps in the direction that you want to go in. You don't feel like you have to know it all and that you have to accomplish it all tomorrow or by the weekend. If you are committed and you're taking steps and you're moving in that direction, you will get there and you will be able to get the results that come with that accomplishment. Number 8, celebrate your successes. So reward yourself for your wins. And I think that's important, to celebrate your success. I think you should acknowledge when you've done something that was important to you. You've made a change. It's like, yay, me. We give ourselves, I mean, you don't have to throw a parade for yourself, but you can definitely celebrate yourself and feel good about yourself and acknowledge that. I think it helps you to go from win to win to win when you acknowledge each win. That's important. And so whatever that might be for you to celebrate yourself, it may just be, hey, I'm doing the happy dance. I'm proud of me. It may be sharing that accomplishment with others. It may be, buying yourself a special treat. I don't know. But whatever it is that works for you to celebrate your successes and to keep you on the successful track. That's what you want to do. And number 9, the final one, is to be accountable and committed to yourself. I think that's the most important part, because when you make changes, especially something like changing your lifestyle and how you eat, because food is something that we eat every day, 3 times a day. So that's a big change. And as I was mentioning earlier, in this country, you have to go out of your way to eat healthy food. It's not available for you on every corner. The unhealthy food is available for you. That will be available for you on every corner at a pretty much a bargain or reasonable price. The unhealthy food will be available like that. The unhealthy foods, you do have to be committed. You have to, ask for it. You may, when you're dining out, sometimes, I may go somewhere like with my kids. They will go to vegan restaurants with me, and they like some things they like. They're not committed to a vegan lifestyle because I raised them under the standard American diet, because that's what I knew. If I had known differently, I could have done something different. But because that's what I knew, that's all I had to offer them. And so now that I know better, they will sometimes join me, go to vegan restaurants with me. I like to try different vegan restaurants, and we travel as a family. We travel internationally, and so I'm always on the lookout. I'm always going to a vegan restaurant, and they'll go with me and find the dishes that they like. But I'm not always, sometimes we're going to a restaurant that's not vegan, and I have to, I'll just ask the restaurant, the waitress, I'm vegan. What do you have, anything on the menu for me? And frequently, they'll act like they do, like, oh yeah, we have a salad. And, of course, I won't, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to want something a little more creative than your side salad. But if that's what they have, and those are my options, I'm looking for, okay, so what are your side dishes? Do you have, do you have green beans? Do you have a baked potato? I'm creating a meal out of that. I'm never going to be like, oh, okay, well, they just don't have anything for me, so I'm just going to eat what they have. I'm not going to put that into my system because I am committed to my body. I'm committed to feeling good. Um, that would be a huge setback for me, and I can't even imagine what my body would, how my body might respond to animal products at this point. But my commitment is, okay, you've got a kitchen, you've got a chef. How about, I'll look at the menu and see what I can ask them to take out or to add. So for instance, my daughters and I and some friends, we were in Cartagena, and they chose an Italian restaurant. And this particular Italian restaurant, they didn't really, everything had a dairy involved in it. And so I asked, can I have the fettuccine noodles? And I didn't want fettuccine Alfredo. I don't want the dairy, but can I have it with garlic and mushrooms and onions in olive oil? And they went and asked the chef, and the chef was like, yeah, absolutely. I've never had anybody say, oh, no, that's not possible. I mean, I'm not creating a whole new entree. I'm just taking what you have on the menu and asking you to add this or take out that, so that I, as a vegan, can eat that because I don't eat animal products. And so, that's my commitment to me. And that is what I'm saying that you have to do if you're going to become vegan, if you're going to eat a vegan, a whole food, plant-based lifestyle, you will have to be committed to yourself to making that change. And it will require, and you have to be intentional. It will definitely require intentionality. Everywhere you go, it's all about meat and animal products. That's just how our system is set up here. And if you want change, you have to start with you. And so I would say that it's worth it. It's definitely been worth it for me. It's been 5 years, and all of the health ailments that I mentioned earlier in the video, I no longer have. That is priceless. To wake up and feel good is priceless. To go through your day and have, more energy than I used to have, that's amazing. And I wouldn't give that up for anything. The improvement in my health, it's like I said, it's priceless. And so I want that for people who are interested. If you are interested in having a vegan, whole food, plant-based lifestyle, if you're interested in making that change, if you're just interested in getting more information, reach out to me. I'm happy to help. And I am going to wish you all a very happy new year, and keep your resolutions, keep your commitments to yourself.